Well, that episode was shite, wasn't it? Not a joke, just a fact. Welcome to Yorkshire Tea. Now, I'd like to start this week by saying these eyelashes are disgusting and I'm never wearing them again. And that the weakness of this week's episode is not down to the Queens. It is purely production problems, which I will get into at length. Cold Open was pretty much a carbon copy of last week. Taste is a delight as always, though. I also want to point out Ellie's Americanisms here. Y'all. Period. That's you lot and full stop over here, thank you very much. The preamble in the workroom is very similar to last week's as well. They're even using some of the same lines.
Need help packing?
Bloody hell, is this a repeat? Somebody check the radio times. Rupaul comes in as your mum's best friend Sue and introduces this week's mini challenge, which is macho drag. So let me get this right, you won't let talented drag kings on your show. Not even for a bit, not even for an episode. But you'll let this fuckery happen?
Let me put my sausage roll in your chicken steak bake.
Hello, Greggs, I'd like to report a crime, please. Yes, put me through to pastry, thank you. A horror did make me laugh, but other than that, this cringe fest should have been a big warning for more cringe to come. Ellie wins the mini challenge, and again, sense of deja vu with the queen that hasn't got any badges getting the win for the mini challenge. I'm sure this was supposed to be... This is a new episode, right? So she gets to pick the lineup for this week's maxi challenge. This week's wholly inappropriate maxi challenge.
You'll be putting on a comedy night.
Look, just don't do a stand-up challenge in the middle of a pandemic. Like, stand-up works when there's an audience there. Nobody likes to see bad stand-up in a silent venue. It just doesn't work. Believe me, I've been to enough free fringe shows in Edinburgh to know that one. You have had months to prepare another challenge that would have been more suitable, you know. I don't care that you've got Dawn French. I love her to bits, love Dawn French, but she is not known as a stand-up comedian. She's a sketch comedian who has been in a couple of sitcoms. So, on that basis, you know, make it a sketch challenge. Make it a sitcom challenge. I don't care that you've got bloody your EastEnders parody next week. Do this instead. Or do something like, I don't know, something relevant to what drag acts have had to do during the pandemic. You know, they've had to do, like, Zoom gigs, or they've had to do, you know, content online, something like that. Do a YouTube challenge. Do something else other than stand-up. Please. Really bad decision, and the episode was painful to watch as a result. They were all practicing their best handwriting. Remember your curly cuz? Have you put your curly cuz in? Your curly cuz? Your curly cuz? Curly cuz? Jolly phonics. And then there's a whole hoo-ha over the running order. Now, comedy shows do have a sort of formula for a running order. You know, you have your opener, and then you have your second and third act, which are either newcomers or they're testing out new material, and then you have your headline act at the end. So I do get what she's going for. She's given herself the easier spot. But I agree with Bimini in many ways that, you know, if you're going to be shit, you'll be shit anywhere regardless. Shit anywhere.
Be like, you know what, I want to shit on you so hard.
Go for it. Go for it.
I'm not gonna lie, a horror's sort of turning me on with this. I'm kind of into that, like, kind of feeling it.
I had no idea you were so into scat.
The whole argument is just very sad. Lots of talk of game playing, Cluedo, Monopoly, Connect 4, Operation. The whole bloody game cupboard is out. But taste is a delight as always. God, now I'm repeating myself.
Shots fired!
Like, let it be.
The girls all then have a one-on-one with Alan and get largely bad advice. Like, there are formulas and there are structures to jokes that he could have explained or elaborated to help them out with their sets. Do they get any advice like that? No. They're just just get some titters. Some little titters. I think it would have been good to have two comedians there to sort of balance things out. You know, people have different senses of humour, people laugh at different things. So I think it would have been helpful to have two of them there. A little double on, a little threesome.
Kind of feeling it.
Fasty forward. This week's sad bit is about Tace's love life.
I went into it very quick. I mean, he talked for about a week and he invited me up to Liverpool and I took 2 coaches all the way to Liverpool. Met this guy, absolutely gorgeous, had beautiful food, you know, did the deed. And I remember telling my best friend the next day and she was like, you know, did you use protection? And I was like, fuck, no, I didn't. But it'll be fine. And little did I know, I didn't only have gonorrhea, I had chlamydia as well.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tace. I did find this discussion quite interesting and unexpected. It was refreshing to have a personal moment like this, which isn't totally heartbreaking. On to the main stage for the performances. Now, normally when I'm writing up these reviews, yes, these are written, surprisingly. I normally watch the challenge a couple of times, but after first viewing, I could not bear to sit through the whole of these sets again. So I did skim it, and here are my skimmed opinions. But before I go into it, look at all these notes. Notes. Stop, this isn't a workshop, learn your set. Or do the professional thing and write your notes on your hand. Ahura had one good joke about anal, material had potential but didn't get the right rhythm. Ellie, it's been said already by other people, but I've definitely seen this at a alternative comedy night before and also didn't get it there. Bimini, fine, smutty but fine. A little repetitive in places. Overall, passable. Lawrence Chaney, strong start. Material would work well in kind of like a bar setting. Agree with the judges that the setups weren't really worth the punchlines. Tace, again, material had potential and the attitude was there, but just lacked a little bit of confidence and stumbled over her lines a little bit. After all the sets had finished, I thought, well, they were all pretty fucking awful. Stoned on the Runway was a nice time though, wasn't it? It all looked very nice. Especially Lawrence, loved that. Untalked, this week again was just a rerun of what happened earlier in the episode. Like, even some of the beats in the argument were the same. It felt lazy and uninteresting. IMHO. BRB. GSOH. Well, no GSOH here. Bimini gets the win, and in probably the best bit of producing in this entire episode is the twist of Ellie not being in the bottom and the lip sync being between Ahura and Tace with a song about love. Oh! This lip sync was major. Great choice of song, great performances, great direction. This was the saving grace of the episode. And Tace is officially, the lip sync assassin of this series, whacking Ahura out of the competition. Brave choices. As said at the start of this video, but I'll repeat now, like much of the episode was repeated, the queens aren't to blame for this shit show. It comes down to inappropriate producing and crappy editing, making this episode the weakest of the series so far. Period. That's it from me this week. Slightly shorter episode, I think. Slightly, but, you know, I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't want to talk about it. Pop off, sis! If you have liked what you've seen, heard, or experienced in this video, then do not forget to subscribe, like, share this with your friends. Comment down below, what challenge do you think should have replaced the stand-up challenge? As always, you can follow me online. It's at Dench. That's Crudy with an I, like Judy, but not. And I'll see you next time for another scalding cup of Yorkshire tea with me, Crudy Dench. Guess there'll be no Queens of Comedy tour out of this one.